Hello, welcome to our February Shotsuki Hoyo. Our service begins with ringing of Kansho, followed by Reverend Mukojima offering an aspiration and reading the Shotsuki honorees' names. Then Sensei will lead sutra chanting of Sanbutsuge. Then the Dharma School 5th and 6th grade class will lead the reading of the Eightfold Path. And then Sensei will share a Dharma message. Thank you for joining us today.
Namando, 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 Namando. Today, on this occasion of the month of View Buddhist Temple's February Shotsuki Memorial Service, we come before the image of Amida Buddha to express our sincere respect for and gratitude to the Shotsuki honorees. As I read the Shotsuki names, please join me in silent meditation so that we may think deeply on their continuing influence on our lives. Bill Asada, Tom Fukuda, Hatsugoro Fukushima, Ben Furuichi, 高松義士、優作春田、鍋井比嘉、千代樋口、富上門平本、千代子広畑、ジャネット広田、モーリン北条、周一堀、ヘンリー星ジュニア、ヘンリー秀夫星、クララ星田、松代出原、レベレン流明井口、達彦池部、フランシス池中、ジェームス井ノ口、ジョージ石丸、ケイ石澤、次郎岩田、和夫加藤、ジャック川本、ノリ近藤、千恵子松本、フランク松本、松太郎松本、デイビッド松尾、陽介水原、リチャード宮代、茂木村井、明子中川、春子中野、サリー中山、常子中山、二郎西本、常雄西村、エドワード岡村、君大久保、ジェーン奥村、フランク崎野、メリー佐々木、日吉沢村、前作宍戸、メリーそうめん、ロッニー富樫、ルース大和田、春尾山路、敏夫山路、ニュードレ山中、努山中、ケネス安田。Please put your hands together in gassho to show our deepest feelings of gratitude to these deceased family and friends who have brought us together today to encounter the Buddha Dharma. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu, 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 Namanda Butsu. Oh,
And now the 5th and 6th grade class will read the Eightfold Path.
The Buddha Dharma is a realization within one's deepest consciousness of oneness of life. For the attainment of this purpose, the Buddha left us to follow the Eightfold Path, which is the way of prime importance.
Right view, to keep ourselves free from prejudice, superstition, and delusion, and to see the true nature of life as it is.
Right thoughts, to turn away from the evils of the world and direct our minds towards purity.
Right speech, to refrain from pointlessness and harmful talk and speak kindly and courteously to all.
Right conduct, to see that our deeds are peaceful, benevolent, compassionate, and pure, to live the teachings daily.
Right livelihood, to earn our living in such a way as to entail no evil consequences.
Right effort, to direct our efforts incessantly to the overcoming of ignorance and craving desire.
Right mindfulness, to cherish good and pure thoughts, for all that we say and do arise from our thoughts.
Right meditation, to concentrate our will on the Buddha, his life, and his teachings.
May the presence of the Buddha, who said that he would abide in the Dharma, be our guide. May we with earnestness, gratitude, and unfaltering steps tread upon this noble Eightfold Path until we too shall attain enlightenment.
Please join us in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Not by birth does one become an outcast. Not by birth does one become a Brahmin. By this, one becomes an outcast. By this, one becomes a Brahmin. Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for your participation in our online February Shotsuki Memorial Service today. I hope that all of you are doing well. Today, I'd like to ask our pretty friend Putra to help me with my talk. Come on, Putra, please show yourself. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. What's up? Hi, Putra. Nice to see you. I'm glad to have you here this morning. Thank you, Sensei. I'm happy to be here today. Good. Oh, Sensei, yes? Let me ask you a question. Sure. I've often heard the phrase Black Lives Matter in the past 2 years, but I don't know what these words mean exactly. So could you please tell me? Wow, that's a good question, Putra. Black Lives Matter is a political and a social movement originating among African Americans. It was founded in 2013. They support basic human rights and racial equality for Black people, and also protest against various forms of racism. These activities have now become a global movement. I see. So that means that the discrimination against Black people is such a serious problem, right? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, racism has been deeply rooted in America's communities and history for a long time. Among them was the incident which shocked many people in Minneapolis 2 years ago, where a black man was killed by a police officer with no show of mercy. Do you remember that? Yes, I do. I was depressed about this tragic death. It was really sad to see that one black man's life and dignity in Minneapolis were both ignored and denied. Yes, it was truly heartbreaking. But especially since the case, American children of color have been suffering from fear and anxiety. That's why the Black Lives Matter movement has become more active, causing thousands of people to join to protest this kind of injustice. Wow, it makes me open my eyes to racial discrimination. It makes me think that it's very important for each of us to recognize and fight this kind of discrimination. Yes, I agree with you. So, at our temple, we offered a Black Lives Matter workshop to talk about how we might eliminate discrimination. And we offered our sympathy to all the victims when we promised to stand in solidarity with the Black community. Wow, that's good. We should stand together for racial justice so that all people can enjoy their lives without the fear of violence or discrimination. Yes, Butcher, I'm glad to hear you say so. Very good, Butcher. Oh, Sensei, I've also heard the phrase, all lives matter, too. Is this also a movement which says that racial equality is for all races, not only Black people? If so, the phrase, all lives matter, sounds more attractive to me. I know what you mean, Puja, because certainly the idea of racial equality is very important. But Puja, unfortunately, the phrase, all lives matter, is a phrase which actually is against the Black Lives Matter movement. Oh no, I didn't know that. From the Buddhist perspective, everyone is precious because each person has Buddha nature and is capable of becoming a Buddha. In that sense, everyone is equal. But if we assume that everyone is also exactly the same and should be treated in the same manner under any condition, we would be making a big mistake. What do you mean, Sensei? Okay, for example, suppose that two people are drawing in a pond in front of you, and you are the only one who can save them, okay? Then who would you save first? Oh no, that's a difficult question. Sensei, are they man or woman, or are they children? It doesn't matter, Puchara. It could be anybody. Would you want to save the person who is closest to you first? Hey, Puchara, both of them will drown unless you hurry. Oh, you are right, Sensei. I'm sorry. Okay, I think that I'll save the person who is thinking fastest. Very good, preacher. This is what I wanted to hear from you. Okay? Even if both people are drawing, if one of them still has time and energy before thinking, you should look past him to the person who is suffering most. The one who is on the point of thinking should be the one you save first. Okay? Then, as soon as you've pulled the person from the water, you should immediately dive back in to save the other person. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. This is the best way to save both of them. See? But suppose that once you've grabbed the first person to rescue, the second one clings to you and yells, "Hey, Pushra, everyone is equal, so save me at the same time." What do you think will happen? Oh no, I'm afraid that all of us might drown. That's right. Let's consider the situation carefully. The Black Lives Matter movement is like the cry for help of someone who is exhausted and on the point of sinking. Okay? On the other hand, All Lives Matter looks past the desperation of the person most in need of help and weighs the rescuer's efforts to save the weaker person first. So, unfortunately, the phrase "all lives matter" is not as inclusive nor as positive as it first seems. Wow, I didn't know that at all. It's so scary. Yes, it is. Black Lives Matter sincerely asks for emergency support because deep-seated racial discrimination is killing Black lives. Now, I understand that the All Lives Matter movement turns the focus away from the pressing issue of racial discrimination against Black people. Yes, you are right. Of course, all lives are equal. Discrimination is a big problem, not only for Black people, but for all races, including the Asian community. Even white people have experienced unfair treatment at one time or another. But now we must save the Black community first because they've received unjust discriminatory treatment in American society through its history. So we must never ignore their hearts crying out for help. I see, Sensei, I've learned that it's really bad to confuse the different issues by insisting that all lives are equal. Now I see why we should stand together against racial injustice and share the tears of sadness and suffering of the Black community. And we should talk with our families and neighbors about how foolish it is to have a stereotype, prejudice, or discrimination against a particular race. Wow, I'm very impressed with your deep understanding. Very good, Puchra, good boy. In the opening meditation, I shared with you the words of Shakyamuni Buddha, which go, "Not by birth does one become an outcast. Not by birth does one become a Brahmin. By this, one becomes an outcast. By this, one becomes a Brahmin. Okay? In this passage, Shakyamuni Buddha teaches us that our worth or value is not determined by race or nationality, but by what our actions are. Okay? The root of discrimination is the arrogance which makes one think highly of oneself in comparison with others. But a person who discriminates against others based on race or religion demeans the value of his own existence and makes others despise him. Okay? So we should all be responsible for our behavior. Wow, that's deep. Yes, it is. The wisdom which Buddhism seeks is the mind which does not discriminate, but instead removes our tendency to judge everything. If we gain such wisdom, we recognize one another as fellow human beings and extend our loving kindness to everyone without discrimination or prejudice. Thank you very much, Sensei, for your wonderful lesson today. I learned about how important it is to support Black Lives Matter for racial justice. And I will be responsible for my own actions to become a better being. Then together we can cultivate awareness and caring, so be able to see all kinds of people just as they are. That's how we can make our community a better place for all people without discrimination. Thank you very much, Puja, for your help today. Yeah, I'm very impressed with your help. Yeah, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. You're welcome, Sensei. Thank you very much, everyone, for your kind attention today. Please join me in Gassho. Okay, please join me in Gassho. Not by birth does one become an outcast. Not by birth does one become a Brahmin. By this, one becomes an outcast. By this, one becomes a Brahmin. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Again, thank you everyone for your participation today. Please continue to stay healthy and have a great day. Bye. See ya. Bye.
Thank you, Sensei and Putra, for discussing the words Black Lives Matter and helping us understand the power of words and the deeper meaning behind words, and reminding us that words can be taken by some groups to have meanings that are different than what the actual wording would originally sound like and have value. Also, thank you for the reminder of Shakyamuni's Buddha's words that tell us that our deeds and our actions are what really demonstrate our value in the world and how we are interconnected and supporting the world around us. If you're joining us in the watch party on Sunday morning, you are in Zoom, and for those of you who'd like to join our Japanese language service, please stay in Zoom. Those who would like to join an English language discussion group, we'll also have that live in Zoom, but we'll do that in a breakout room. So please stay with us following the end of this video for those two events happening concurrently. Thank you.